Look, I don't even have the game booted yet. What am I doing? What am I doing right now? This is unprofessional. Unprofessional. Total. Whoever's doing this, they don't know what they're doing. What's the... Oh, hey, look. Game. Okay, cool. All right. Welcome back. I don't think I have a lot of time, but I just felt the itch, you know? I just wanted to keep going. Sometimes when I get my focus on this game, I just want to do it. And, you know, that's kind of how I am as a person. I can kind of vacillate in my intention. Kind of go in and out of phases of really pain. You know, the stereotype of the 2-week Minecraft phase? That's me. That's me with everything, dude. When I play Minecraft, I go nuts. I go insane. I devote every waking hour to Minecraft for like 2 weeks, and then I go, fuck it. I'll leave like big construction projects and everything, and like, I'm pretty sure if you booted up some Minecraft worlds I have, they would look like a big team of like monument builders that just said fuck it like 15% of the way through 5 different things, because that's just who I am as a person. Here we are. It's 6 p.m. No time to turn a barrel in. I think we're probably just going to do, like, some jorin, you know? We haven't... we got a lot... I know we got all that wood to pick up. We'll probably go over there, pick up all that wood. We're just going to kick it. We're just going to hang out. Payday's coming up. That's nice. We're going to look into... probably the electrical grid. I think one more payday and we might be able to just flat out afford it, which would be cool. So yeah, let's just get right to it. No gas in the can. We may even want to head into town and get gas, because we can buy it whenever we want now. As a matter of fact, I just know straight up, let's just do that. We'll turn fast nights off. Fast nights are off. And let's just go get gas, because I know for a fact the generator's low. And it already ran dry once in recent memory and was down for a good long time. I don't want that to happen again. Let's just deal with it. And actually, as a matter of fact, I think... well, that's not exactly what I wanted to do. I think we're just going to try, like... let's experiment with just going as the crow flies. Because I remember we went over the mountain pass for the first time. And look, here it is. And I was like, whoa, that's fast. And it made me think, like, dude, now that we have the truck with its off-road suspension and its nice off-road tires and all that, like, why haven't I been taking the mountain pass this whole time? Oh, look, there's a little piece of firewood on the ground right there. That's funny. And, like, yeah, dude, this feels, it's a more fun drive, frankly. And, dude, that feels way more direct. Why haven't I been doing this the whole time? You start off the beginning of the game. Ooh, bob and weave. You start off the beginning of the game, and this route's not really a possibility, because, you know, the truck is clapped out and sagging low to the ground. You got crappy tires on it. Or if you even have the truck at all, you know, I started with the Koenig, and that was 100% not happening, right? Oh, yeah, hey. We can stop by, say hi to the bonfire. After we get our gas. That'll be cool. And, you know, note to self, I do have to come over here some point during the weekend and drive that car home that we never needed to tow to begin with. So, that'll be fun. If I didn't want to do a bunch of work with the truck right now, you know, picking up firewood and all that, I'd just do it right now, but I don't think that's really in the cards for us at the moment. I drive this truck a lot. It always needs gas. And that's hardly surprising. I wish you were able to work on and modify the truck like you were able to work on and modify the other cars. That's my most requested feature. I'm somewhat active in the Discord for this game, and I have campaigned for modifiable truck several times, and I know I'm not the only one. Well, say hi. This looks like if we didn't already have like all of our friendship kind of figured out, this looks like it would be a good opportunity to do all that. Because look, like everyone's here. When we can't talk to anyone, they're not really people. They're just a bunch of faceless nobodies. So never mind. It doesn't matter. This wouldn't be... Hi, look at you. This actually wouldn't be a good opportunity to do friendship. Can I sit in the chair? No, you bet I can't. Alright, so screw this. It's actually not that cool. Never mind. I'm just kidding, Santa Goat. I'm just kidding. Santa Goat, if you're watching this, and, you know, the dear, sweet developer of this game, whomst I love, it's actually cool that you put that in. It's a nice piece of window dressing. Thank you. I wish I had been able to sit and hang out and interact and blah, 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 blah. Maybe say hi, bump some elbows. But, you know, you're a one-man dev team. This game's already magnificent. You're doing so much. If that's a thing that you decided to cut to focus on other stuff, you know what? I respect that. That's fine. No worries here. Yeah, and this thing hill climbs like a champ, too. See, look, there's the trailer right down there. Can we just do this and not die of anxiety or anything like that? But we're bouncing. Whoop, whoop. All right. Hell yeah. See, like, that feels really good. The pile of wood is very funny. Looks like all the plants need to be watered. That's fine. There we go. Okay, cool. Generator now. Make sure we don't lose power. And yeah, it was coming close. It was coming close to no more power, so it's a good thing we did that. I don't know if we would have made it through the night, honestly. It's still not on Fast Night. 1 second, I just received a vital piece of information. Thank you for allowing me to address that vital piece of information. Like I said, I don't know. This could be an incredibly short episode. It could be 15 minutes long for all I know. We're already 9 minutes in. I could be leaving here in a moment. I just really wanted to play before I had to go. And, you know, I've had this feeling before where I go, oh, I really want to play, but I don't think I have a lot of time. And then in the past, what I've done is I've gone, well, I just won't play because, you know, I want to make an episode that's worth watching, and I don't want to play for a little bit off stream and have the stream desync, right, from everything that's going on here. Because, you know, I want you guys to stay in touch if you want to follow the series and see what's going on. I can't bear to let you miss a single second of me moving piece of firewood from place to place. I mean, I know this right here, this is the content you love, the content you crave. Hold on. Text message again. Back at it again. I thought I was making a dent in it, and then I saw the other side, and I was like, holy, holy moly, man, that's a lot of firewood. And I have a whole nother pile of logs over there to chew through as well. And the funniest part of this, of all, I think, is that I am going to try and get the electrical grid hooked up soon, meaning that very soon, probably an in-game week, maybe an in-game week and a half or something like that, firewood is going to have no more use to me at all. So what that means is we'll probably end up selling some amount of this firewood to our brother. We may even leave some of the wood over there in log form so that we can sell both firewood to our brother and logs to the sawmill, just to make this stuff go away and make a little bit of cash on the side. It's not much, but you know, it'll end up being like 300, 400-ish dollars a day. And who in their right mind would say no to 300, 400-ish dollars a day, right? No one. Come on. I think we're just going to leave it like this. I think I could, if I really wanted to, stack it like even crazier, but I also don't feel like picking up little discarded pieces of firewood everywhere for the rest of time, and I know that the higher I go, the more of a chance of me dropping this all over the place as I go over all these bumps to get to the sugar shack. So let's just call it here. Honestly, not bad. You know, we got a water. And let's get going. Just try and be gentle. I have an idea. I'm going to try an idea. Whoa, that bump, I probably lost some wood there. I'm going to see if I can use science and physics and knowledge and leverage. Well, that didn't. Okay, so first of all, I don't know what I was thinking. What I was thinking was maybe I'll be able to push the wheelbarrow. But silly me, of course I should know the wheelbarrow is a movable object. There's nothing you can do to move the wheelbarrow. What are you, crazy? We'll just check the furnace here real quick since we're here. Excellent. So, like I said, the idea that I had here, I'm going to use my mastery of science and physics. I definitely dropped some wood when I hit that tree while I was backing up. There's no way I didn't. I'm just trying to line the truck up just so. Okay. Get that winch. Nah, that didn't do anything, huh? Well, it was worth a shot. I was kind of hoping it would all come sliding out. But nope. Oh man, don't look directly at this. You'll get nauseous. I still feel like this might be easier, though, to be honest. I feel like this might be more convenient. I don't know if I'm just coping right now. I could just be coping. That'll be my new requested feature in the Discord is a dump more modifications for the truck. B, dump truck bed for the truck that ejects everything. You know, actually, it might slide out if I take the parking brake off. No. No, it didn't. All right. Well, this... I didn't think this through. Yeah, let me just take the parking brake off and then send it, you know, down. I think that's all going to be all the logging, all the firewooding that we do for today. I think we'll probably water the plants and go to bed here. Just get these pieces that we definitely dropped. And we'll water. Yeah, that tank's looking pretty empty. Certainly it has enough in the reservoir there to handle another day's worth of syrup when everything kicks on tomorrow. So that'll be fine. And we'll just get these guys watered. And then we'll call it an evening here. Head on down to bed. Is that one ready? That one was ready. Ooh. Ooh, I don't know if that was apparent on the stream, but my game just stuttered there for a second. The sheer amount... the game was so impressed with the sheer amount of canny bis. It's crazy that you unlock the weed dealer for 12 large packs. And then they go, okay, cool, we can do business. We'll only buy 37 large packs at a time from you. And you're like, holy moly, dude. It was already such a big deal to get those 12. And you might be doing the calculus of it all in your head right now and thinking to yourself, but it took all that, it was so much time and manual labor to just roll all 12 of those packs. That's insane. But a piece of the puzzle that you might be missing is that when you get the house and you get like the grow bunker that you can start scaling weed production in, you get access to machinery that automates a lot of it and makes the grinding and the rolling a lot more efficient than just sitting here and on your butt and doing it on your own. So that's a missing piece of the puzzle that you might not have. Or maybe you do. I don't know. Maybe you played maybe you know more about this game than I do. I don't know. I'm not your dad. I don't know your life. Or maybe I am. I don't know. Nah, I'm not your dad. Leave a comment if I'm your dad. Frenched fries. We left a package of French fries in the car that we threw right in the river. This is going to be some waterlogged French fries. They'll be seasoned with sea salt. Pre-seasoned. Soaking in seawater. We've invented a new form of French fry. Potato. Two more. $18 feels like kind of a lot of potato seeds. Did we get lucky a lot on a lot of these? Up 6? Up 6 is, I think, quite a bit, honestly, for potatoes. Yeah, I know. My little guy's getting kind of sleepy. I know there's at least one candied bis that is ready. There it is. Are there any others? I don't think there are. And well, I guess we'll try to put them just right in there. Alrighty. You know what would be really nice is if we just... Wow, that cannabis plant that we harvested didn't have like hardly any cannabis in it at all. Would we go from 2% to 8? Oof. Anyways, you know, it'd be really nice, but would feel really inefficient, is if we just ignored the weed until it was all grown, and then we just like harvested it all at the same time. Got everything on the same cycle. It's kind of what I've talked about, kind of a lesson you learn from StarCraft, you know, where it's like it's really difficult to manage 8 barracks making Marines if they're all making Marines at slightly different times. But if you just take the L and then you let the barracks all run empty and then resume production on all of them at the same time, they all sync up. And that becomes easier to manage. It's definitely something I think about doing here. Another day, another day, another day, another day. Okay. Well, all of those 90s that we were looking at last night are now all ready to go here. We'll just start on this end. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. and 5, and 6, and 7, and 8, 9, and 10, and 11. Ooh, some of these aren't watered. Don't know how I missed these. I think these 97s, in fact, I know these 97s, would have been ready to go. All right, mark your bingo cards. Okay, there it is. I was like, I've lost them. We're just going to put it right here in this little clearing. Up 4, it looks like. Not bad, not bad, not bad. Especially since, like, what'd we get? Like 8 or 10? And we're up 4? I know I've remarked upon it a million times, and I literally won't shut up about the same 3 things that we talk about on this stream, and it must be annoying, but goodness gracious. Cannabis just propagates so much more readily than potatoes, and it makes no goddamn sense. I can hardly complain, though, because, I mean, cannabis is a cash crop, and potatoes aren't. So if one of them was going to propagate more than the other, I'm glad it's cannabis. The vacuum pump has been running for about 2 hours. We'll grind our 8 packs here and then get on with that. Yeah. The truck has already landed over here and blah, 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 blah. I think I'm just gonna walk over there and turn it on. I feel like a lot of these trees that we've planted have got to be hitting about 2 weeks old soon. Which 2 weeks is how long they have to be in the ground, and at mature age, you know, they have to be fully grown for 2 weeks before we can prune them and get more trees. And not this group, but some of those over there. And that's it. And honestly, I'm going to just let those rock. It looks like it's literally just like 3 or 4 over there. So we're just going to let them chill. Oh yeah, what's the reservoir look like? Fine. Yeah, I figured it was fine. We'll turn it on. And then we'll come back here to drink from it later. Probably load up some firewood and then come back and drink from it. Though, I mean, we could just drink this. Why not? Just do that. I had a friend who watches the stream point out to me that the fact that the power went out and the homemade poutine is spoiled really fast, those two things could be correlated. So maybe it was that they were in the fridge, but they weren't being refrigerated because the power was out, and that's why they... Yeah, because look, now that the power's been on, they've hardly gone down any. So I do think that's right. And we're just going to eat one because they're getting so old. You know, we didn't have that much hunger really to satiate there, but like, whatever. You know, before we really get too into this, I'm going to reposition the trunk. This is not the most ideal position. Yeah, that's going to be way easier. welcome to clicking. Don't look at your screen for too long. You're going to get motion sickness. Ugh, I just accidentally took a couple out and put them back in the pile. I'm misinputting. All right, lock in. Nah, I'm good. Game play. You know what's nice is that you as the viewer, you have the option to just skip ahead a minute or whatever whenever you're watching this in the VOD. You don't actually have to sit here and watch me silently stack firewood. I don't know why you do that, of course. This is the game. What are you going to do? Not watch me play the game? I mean, like, if you didn't sign up for this, well, I don't know what you're even here for. It's kind of a hefty load of firewood here. We'll definitely be able to get all of it next time. That one's not staying for sure. There, we'll just cross our fingers and hope for that one. All right. We're just kind of tapping the accelerator here, just kind of trying to rev it slowly. All right, here we are. I guess we can check. Yep, it's time. All right, 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 all right. is exciting times. It does really feel like some big things are really coming together. All of these episodes here. I'm very excited to get hooked up to the electrical grid and then start spending some money upgrading the sugar shack and then plugging in a whole bunch more trees. We are really truly only producing a fraction of the syrup that this little guy is capable of producing. We're like more or less managing 77 trees okay, I think. With all of the upgrades and like maximum productivity, you can extract and process the maple from 500 trees. So literally more than 5 times as much. That's how much syrup we could be making every single day. Pretty nuts. But it also just goes to show you that, like, you don't need, like, a crazy... Because, like, I feel like we've been making good money, and we've also been just making, like, good progress through the game. So you don't need, like, a crazy amount of Sugar Shack productivity to comfortably accomplish the goals of this game. We are going to need more money to, like... do something like the Speedway, because I think the Speedway takes like $80,000, and at our current rate, that's like 6-7 weeks of income, and like that's, we could do that. We could wait. We could just keep living like this for 6 or 7 weeks and get that done. Doesn't sound the most interesting in the world, though. I think I'd rather take those same 6 or 7 weeks, you know, spend 4 of them reinvesting our money into making the Sugar Shack produce even more and more and more and more and more money, and then spend 2 weeks knocking out the Speedway. And, like, yeah, it's the same overall time of, you know, scheduled towards completion of the Speedway. We still spent 6 or 7 weeks or whatever, right? But the difference there is, of course, that now we still get to keep our expanded production for every other goal we could think of. And I know this is obvious. I don't have to explain to you how, you know, investing in yourself works. Or maybe I do. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I don't know. You know? I had something. It's gone. Don't worry about it. I had something quippy and fun, but I don't. And that's fine. That's fine. They can't all be zingers. That's something I used to say all the time at my previous workplace. They can't all be zingers. I stole that's the name of a Primus greatest hits album. And boy, howdy, did that leave an impression on me. You like Primus? I like Primus. I'm pretty big into Primus. They're still going. You watch the Interstellar Drum Derby? Primus Interstellar Drum Derby? Yeah, you did? If you haven't watched the Primus Interstellar Drum Derby, pause the VOD real quick. Go watch it. It's like 10 or 12, like 20-minute videos, so you should just be able to knock that out in a second. Here, I'll wait. Okay, welcome back. So yeah, dude, the Primus Interstellar Drum Derby, that was awesome, right? I really liked the drummer that they went with. It kind of disappointed me that a couple of them that auditioned seemed like they weren't, like, super prepared. So But I am glad that they're here, or that they picked the drummer they went with. I'm looking forward to the next album. I feel like it's going to be a really, really cool seeing the new drummer kind of contribute creatively to the band. Anyways, suddenly I have to go. Remember I said this was going to be a short episode, and the time is now. So thank you for coming to Mindless Bazou. I appreciate it. I know this was kind of a distracted episode, not a lot of commentary, just kind of looking around at firewood and stuff, but I just had to look out for a real life obligation today, which means I've been looking at my phone, I've been managing text messages, blah, 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 blah. And I just wanted to play a little bit before I had to do all that. So that's why we did what we did. But you're here, and I appreciate you. And if you're having a good time, I hope you keep having a good time. If you're having a bad time, I hope that ends soon. Ooh, up on the house. Nice. Tragedy. Thank you very much. I'll save. Don't forget to save. And I'll see you next time. Mindless Bazou. Forever. Yeah, I'm just going to keep doing the Anthony Fantano sign-off. Why not?